Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It's time for Game 3 of Navi versus Tongfu.
Wait, never mind. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
We have Episode 4, 10D is a New Hope. Episode 5, Tongfu Strikes Back. Is it time for the return of the Dandy?
I don't know. We'll wait and find out.
We'll wait and find out. But
by the way, there's a new trilogy coming out, so
that will be
episodes yet to be told in the future.
That will be next matches. Whether if it's in the losers bracket or the winners bracket, we'll have to see after this game. But I said Navi 2-1. You said Navi 2-1 as well?
I said Tongfu 2-1.
Tongfu 2-1. So we're rivals now.
Navi have definitely, if it's the hearts and minds of the fans, then they've won those. They won them a long time ago, but they definitely have the edge there. But Game 3 going into it, I think if Tongfu has the right draft and just play a little bit safer, they should be able to take it. Navi, they were a bit reliant on the huge plays.
I'm looking at the screen right now.
Oh, no. Well, this draft, maybe not. We'll see, Bruno. But they've done it. They've given away the Wisp to a Western team, to Navi.
To Funnick.
Funnick doesn't play the Wisp for them. Usually it's Puppy.
Not anymore? Oh, yeah. Puppy. I remember Funnick playing the Wisp back in Empire.
Oh, for Empire.
He was like the best Wisp. Probably the best Wisp in the world.
I looked at the win rate, and he had by far the most Wisp games out of anyone else. It was a slightly lower win rate than a few teams, but he had like 3 or 4 times as many games and played Wisp in a lot of LAN tournaments as well, not just in online matches. So, yeah, just when you look at his play, he is a playmaker on the Wisp. I think it's been Puppy playing it as
if it's
late.
Puppy, it's going to be good.
He's still a good Wisp.
But I seem to remember, of course, this is just one game, so it's an anecdote, it's not a statistic. But I seem to remember one game where they actually went with Funnick on the Wisp, and to replace that, they went with either Lycan or some other, like Axe on Puppy.
Yeah.
So
like
that
one of those weird junglers.
Junglers that actually can get some kind of farm and play the 3 position as well.
Yeah.
So it's in the realm of possibility. Anyways, seeing Navi playing Wisp is always exciting. Puppy is also a great. I don't want to take anything from him. He's also a great Wisp player.
Funnick has that extra special something, though,
yeah,
for sure.
I think that you can't kill him. I mean, that's what separates a good player from a great player when you're doing Wisp, because, I mean, the relocate ganks, you don't need to call them if you're playing the Wisp. Like, if the carry next to you says, come on, let's go top, there's that guy. There's always that. However, if you have a Wisp that knows how to escape, that always has the tether on cooldown just to tether to that lone creep right there to get away, that can always make a difference. And the partner for that IO or Wisp will be the gyrocopter.
Well, with that being said, we should mention Tongfu are going to be on the Dire side this game, and Navi on the Radiant. It is game number 3 of one of your biggest Alienware Cup matches to date. It's the upper bracket round number 2. The winner of this match goes on to play Invictus Gaming, I believe. So, we have the potential for another Navi versus IG showdown. And if the last time they played in the group stage for this very same tournament, Navi actually got 2-0'd by IG, and it was easy. So Navi already being out for blood, I'm sure, after the way the International 2 went, will be doubly so after suffering that loss.
We're going to see what happens.
They have to get there first, though, and Tongfu is quite a roadblock in their way.
I think that matchup only is reason enough to cheer for Navi. Even if you're not a Navi fan, I mean, Navi versus IG is something so huge. We saw the rematch from the International 2. IG took that 3-1, right? The International 2, yeah.
Yeah, 3-1. Navi took, I believe it was the second game, and then they lost the last two.
Then we have, of course, before that, also at the International 2, there was the game with the play, right? And what was funny was the game before that, IG forced them to tap out at like 14 minutes. It was like 14-1 or something ridiculous. And Navi got crushed, and then they came back, had the play, won the series. Exactly. And now we have, again, Alienware Cup group stage, IG dominating. It's 2-1 for IG right now. If Navi wins, they can get the 2-2 and go into the International 3 with the potential to get a new matchup. And now with the scales even, 2 matches each one. Either way, it's going to be exciting. If it's Tongfu versus IG, it's going to be a tough series. I don't know who I favor there.
Yeah, that's going to be a grinder of a series, I feel, for both teams.
Do you know if they played in the group stage, Tongfu and IG? Were they in the same group?
Tongfu, IG was in Group B, and I believe Tongfu was there as well. I think Tongfu beat IG, but it's been a while. We can look up the group results
later. We'll check later, but it's going to be interesting.
But for now, let's talk more about the draft. For Tongfu, they've gotten a lot of chain stun here. The Nyx Assassin, great burst damage. A tougher here to relocate on because of Spike Carapace. If you go on him, he gets the Carapace off. If he ever gets to impale Monoburn on Io, that's almost all of her HP. Navi have gone rather weak in terms of the early game pressure. Chen, Gyro, Io, heroes who want to farm and get levels. Tongfu also, their support, heroes that want to hit level 6. Dragon Knight, not the most active solo mid. So I feel like this early to mid game is going to be incredibly passive from both teams. The only X factor would be maybe a smoke gank, but Chen doesn't really have the best partner for that.
You know, okay, so who's Navi's Wisp player?
I mentioned Puppy. You mentioned Puppy.
Who is Chen's, Navi's Chen player?
Puppy.
Aha.
Could still be a Kuroki Wisp.
Could still be a Kuroki Wisp. Could still be a Kuroki Puppy.
I also want to mention this is like one game that I ever cast with it happening, but Dendi has run a solo mid Wisp
I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I just want to draw the attention.
No, but there is one other possibility, which is a Dendi solo mid Wisp. He has done this before.
I remember that as well.
It was not in the Alienware Cup. It was not against Tongfu. It was against this much weaker team, but still, it could happen.
Hey, I mean...
I don't think Tongfu's even considering that possibility. By the way, they have not seen that game. I'm 99.9% sure.
Mid Wisp is...
It's weird.
Weird, but against a Dragon Knight mid?
He's not going to stop you from getting level 6.
No, exactly. I mean, that's all you need as Wisp. You don't even need particularly much farm at all. So, it's always possible.
I don't think so, though. When you have Funnick already, and as well as Puppy and Krogi, very suitable Wisp players.
I can imagine Dendi saying, but Puppy, I want to play Wisp. I want to play
Dendi
Wisp.
probably wants to play Pudge.
Probably he wants to play Windrunner as well.
Yeah. Windrunner could be his hero, probably will be his hero. Of course, they have the Gyro for Havost. And on Tongfu's side, well, they've got that King J Clockwork. Struggled quite a bit in Game 1, but still had his moments with some decent hook shots. The cogs were very annoying for Havost in a few of those engagements as well. I like their lineup because it's a very strong 5-man lineup, and that's really what you want against a Wisp. So right now, I'd say Tongfu. I don't like giving away a Wisp, but this is the kind of lineup you want to deal with it.
Yeah, have you ever seen this, there's new compendium matchmaking thing where you're playing a match that has already passed? I think that this kind of lineup, without seeing the last hero, is one that, if you play pubs a lot, Tongfu's lineup would win a lot. Not because necessarily they're the stronger, although they're pretty strong.
It's easier to execute.
It's super easy to execute. You have stuns on all the heroes there. You have a very clear initiator. You have Nyx Assassin that can also act as an initiator. You have good ganking. You have 5-man potential. Navi, you have the Chen, you have the IO. Harder to execute. Higher rewards as well.
Yeah.
If they can do things right, if they can make things happen with those heroes, because they clearly have the skill level to make it happen, it's going to be a very flashy game.
It absolutely could be. My one concern for them is they don't have a great hero to start the fights outside of a Wisp relocate, and the partners for that Wisp are a bit awkward right now. Gyro, you can run people down, but you don't like instantly stun them or lock them down. And Tongfu have great counter initiation. You don't want to take 5 seconds to kill these heroes. You want to kill them in 2 or 3. Yeah. Else the Clockwork Hook comes in, the Nyx walks in and impales you, and Tongfu will go for one of the hardest to gank heroes in the game, the Morphling. The water creature is back, and this is actually feeling like a very smart pick to me.
It is. I mean, you can't kill that Morphling with a relocate. He just waveforms away, pops a replicate if needs to, just starts running one way. If you follow him, he just pops into the replicate, TPs away. Such an elusive hero, made of water, of course.
And you also look at Navi, almost no lockdown. So the more I look at this pick, the more I like it a lot for Tongfu. And for Navi, there's a lot of pressure now for Puppy to make some early ganks happen with his Chen, or at least farm a really fast mech, do something to have a big contribution to the early to mid game, and B, for this gyrocopter to get godly fat, because how else do they take a team fight?
It's going to be tough. I mean, Morphling is a great hero late game. His weakness is that early game, he's not weak because he has a nuke, he has a mobility, a skill, but he lacks the mana, and he definitely needs something to happen. If he starts morphing, he will run out of mana immediately, and with that lineup, you can't actually make things happen in the early game. I mean, you can't punish the Morphling.
They really need a hero that just like sets the tempo for the game. And who is it going to be? Mag got banned, Puck got banned, really smart bans from Tongfu. I mentioned the Dendi Wisp, but I don't really think he's going to be playing it here. He could play a Windrunner.
Yeah, I see that happening. I can see a farming Windrunner here.
It's hard for a Windrunner to do that much work, though. Like Tongfu are all very tanky. What do they get for Funnick? If he's playing the Wisp, then whoever's going to be that 3-position player for this team, where's their team fight, or where's that extra burst damage for ganker? And it looks like now like a Funnick Windrunner, because they've gone Queen of Pain. That'll be Dendi's hero. And this hero can really dominate a Dragon Knight mid, and I mean really hard. Yes. So could be a tough matchup for Mu, to say the least.
I have never seen this matchup go nearly in favor of the Dragon Knight. He just loses it badly every single time. So that will be their stepping stone for Navi. Dominate the mid lane, make things happen otherwise.
This is such a BKB game for Tongfu as well. Navi have nothing to counter that aside from just gyrocopter auto attacks. But with that being said, we'll see if they look for them. On the dire side, you've got Tongfu. They have made it a best of one. They've taken game 2. They've forced a game 3. They were not rattled in the slightest by that epic clutch performance for Navi in game 1. And now they'll be looking to seal the deal and knock Navi down to the loser's bracket here. Mu on the Dragon Knight, rushing the bottle. King J, the Clockwork. We could have an early level 1 clash. Sangsheng playing the Rubik Banana.
Havost.
The Nyx. And Havost will scout things out. Does have higher base move speed. Sangsheng can't get in range yet. He'll be okay. And last but certainly not least, Hao on one of his signature carries from the days of old, the International 2. He's on the Morphling.
30 seconds.
It's going to be interesting. Havost is in a weird position. They didn't know that he was still waiting there. Yeah. It paid off. If they had gone below, they could have found him, and that would have been a first blood. Of course, Havost always playing the riskier move. He waited there because if something would happen, he didn't want to run away. He wanted to be as close as possible to their friends. He didn't skill anything as well.
Very dangerous.
Yeah,
to say the least.
Risky, but it pays off.
On the side of Navi, they've traveled to China. They're training for the International 3. They don't want to finish second like they did last year. They want it to be first. They have a slightly fresh roster here. We'll see what they can do. Havost on that carry gyro. Kuroki, the one handling the IO. It won't be Funnick, at least not this game. Puppy, he's playing the Chen, has pulled his carries a lot, I believe. Dendi, he's been pulled, sitting on an extra salve and a tango, going solo mid, had a fantastic game 1, a rather dubious game 2. Funnick on the Windrunner, early Quelling Blade, and pulled some regen. He'll be doing some ancient shenanigans handling the Windrunner.
Look at Kuroki. What's he doing right now? He's actually tanking the creeps. Waiting.
Interesting.
Look at... That's kind of interesting. They try to delay as much as possible, so it's actually closer to King J.
And actually, Havost gets pulled into the cogs. This is not what King J wanted. Yeah, that hurts. You want to mana burn the gyro, not pull him in with you.
Yes.
That's not ideal.
That's unfortunate for King J. He has to pop a salve right now. The creep wave is oddly closer to his tower than it is to Navi's tower, but now there will be a big pull coming. And
did he just want to place this ward? Because they didn't go ward earlier, I believe. So that might have been it. I think this ward just got dropped.
Yes, we're going to see what happens there.
Oh, King J, 8 and 3 on Clockwork. Interesting.
Pretty good.
The one thing that he has going his way is it's a bit of a hard lane for Wisp and Gyro to kill him. Puppy's going to have to rotate if they want to set up an early
Wisp and Gyro can't kill any lane anyways.
Well, they can, but it's just very difficult to do.
It is.
Not in a choke like this.
And not against Cogs. Cogs is very, very annoying too.
So let's introduce our other lanes. Take a look at some of these other matchups. Dendi mid versus Mu's Dragon Knight should absolutely crush this lane. Although Mu Bottle Crowing should be able to get something out of it. So I'd say mid lane should be advantage Navi. They've abandoned the off lane, so absolute free farm for the Morph lane and a lot of pulling for these supports. And then your X Factor is going to be Puppy in the jungle, who did stack this big camp. I believe wanted to get a Wildkin and just get really farm, but couldn't find one in the end. What do you make overall of the trades? Tongfu getting something out of their off lane, Navi just jungling Ancients. So far seems pretty even, but King J is trying to disrupt Kuroki's polls.
I don't know. I mean, the farming Ancients tactic is quite interesting. I think you get more against that than against any tri-lane. I mean, Rubik and Nyx are very, very deadly. It's not Rubik and Shadow Demon anymore. Suddenly now you have some kill potential. You have some ability to do damage. And again, Morphling is not Lifestealer, which means he has an extra nuke as well. And he's ranged, so you can't kite him as easily. So, Funny going for the smart choice
King
here.
J, he's in trouble now. There's your tether to the creep. With Puppy as the X Factor, they can find a kill, and they will, I think. One more hit. First blood to Puppy. This is a little bit over-eager from King J. No wards, no vision. Haste Rune about to wear off, and he's stuck around way too long. Overextends, gets picked off, and that is the kind of start you don't want to give to a team that's running a Chen and a Wisp, a rather greedy jungling combo.
Yep, and now it's the time for Gyrocopter to get some farm, for Chen to get some creeps. Once he's level 5, he's probably going to push into that bottom tower. Of course, that bottom tower is not as important because you still have the mid tower to go for Roche, for example, but it gives you some gold, it gives you some advantage that you need, and as fun as that top lane being empty is for Hao, If you get a tower, you pretty much offset whatever creeps you missed when you were last hitting trying to contest against Clockwork.
Yeah, Habos missing a few last hits here and there. Just the harassment of the Clockwork and the fact that Gyrocopter has fairly crappy base damage early on, but he's still doing decently. It's not a horrible deficit by any means. Dendi's muscling his way in mid lane. Has a Blink Scream. This could maybe be a kill. There's no mana for Mu to actually stun. He could bottle up and through the Shadow Strike damage ticks and go for it. But Dendi's going to play it safe. He's starting to really get out of control mid lane. 18 and 10, zoning Mu out of the creep wave. And this was with Mu constantly bottle crowing. Mid lane going well for Navi. They got a first blood bottom. And Funnick, he's not only farming ancients, but he's also stacking them to some extent, which means maybe Havos has a bit of an early start. Wisp getting close to level 6.
Wow, Mu just got lucky, guessed the rune right. He went for the Invis rune.
Did he pick it up?
No, he didn't. What?
Did he kill it by mistake? Oh, no, sorry. It was Kuroki who denied it from the high ground.
Oh, that was nice. That was a
I saw Kuroki over there. I didn't actually see the rune because he already denied it, so I got a little confused for a second.
Yeah, I think I had a glitch and I didn't see the auto attack or something because the rune just disappeared.
Yeah. Welcome to perfect world, Bruno. Not so perfect when it comes to lag.
Not so perfect for us, but for Chinese people probably is okay. Now then he has enough mana to blink Shadow Strike, and there's no region on Dragonite. Does he know that? To be interesting. He's level 6 as well.
Yeah, Mu really needs to hit level 6. Once he does, he's got the range stun, and his supports are great for ganking a Queen of Pain mid. The one concern for me is Banana's only level 3, Sangsheng's only level 3. They really want this level 6 on Nyx Assassin especially as quickly as possible to punish the Queen of Pain, the Wisp. They will lift in Funnick, but there's no follow-up stun, no boots on Banana. Does have a TP scroll, however, and I would like to see them really prioritize this Nyx level 6. He's their main hero to get stuff done in the mid-game, and right now, well, farming okay, but you compare that to a level 4 and then change on Kuroki, and then a level 5 on Puppy, and he's just not quite keeping up.
I don't know. Funnick is going back to farming ancients, but it's not safe anymore as it used to be. There's no tier 1 tower. If How or the supports decide for some reason to go to the secret shop, they can easily see him, and suddenly Funnick will have to run away with just a little bit of mana, because he's going bottle, but that bottle will also be needed to... I mean, the courier has to be used by Dendi as well, so risky move. Let's see if it pays off, but I don't know. How looking good in top lane. Gyrocopter.
Yeah, he's caught up though.
Trying to get some farm.
Most was actually down like 8 CS, and now he's ahead by 4. That push top did cause him to miss quite a few last hits.
It is fine. They got a tower anyway, and I think he got the tower. No, Nyx Assassin got the tower, which is a little bit unfortunate. But about to hit level 6 on both. Gyrocopter already level 6. Morphling almost level 6, but level 6 not as important on that hero, especially not at this part of the game.
Yeah, Puppy's already level 5, and he's been active as well, getting good levels out of the jungle. Boots up. Remember, he basically bought no items for himself. I think he pulled 300 gold worth of regen to his carries, a set of tangos to Funnick, and then 200 gold worth or so to Dendi, a healing salve as well as tangos. And he still has boots and 1,000 gold. That is some really efficient jungling.
Oh, they're going on Dendi mid.
Movement mid. Dendi. Oh no. There's your chain stun. They'll lift him up, they'll throw him back down, but then they actually have the burst damage. He blinks away. No. The last auto attack follows him, and they do find an important kill. And that's also, well, but 3 heroes there, so they don't really get that much experience. But Banana will work his way towards level 6 off of that.
It's fine. I mean, they realized that they could leave the Morphling along. The perfect rotation from the support. I mean, normally you say, we can't gank a Queen of Pain, really. She has Blink. But all the chain stun was perfect. She wasn't expecting it, overconfident. She knew that the Nyx Assassin was there, but wasn't expecting the Rubik. With all that, Dendi dies. It's a little bit of a delay for him. Yeah,
something I was going to mention is how important it is for Navi to keep good wards up. I was referring to once Nyx hits level 6, but you could see that even before then. With the Rubik pick, they have that, and the Dragon Tail, which is ranged when the Dragon Knight's in range form. They have a great way to initiate and just lock down the Queen of Pain. Bottom lane, they may look to go in on King J, but he's got backup in the form of Sangsheng. That would be a bold dive. The missile comes through. Call down available. Cabosta's going for this. What else is new? Sangsheng will eat rocket number 1 of the phase. Now barrage as well. King J low, not dead yet.
Oh,
and that gives Kuroki level 6. How? He could maybe join this fight. Mid lane, Dendi's trying to go in as well. Habos jumping in on King J. He's trapped in the cogs. He does stick up. There's your Hand of God, keeping him alive. And now Kuroki on the run has relocate, but no mana for yet. Did he skill the wrong spell? I didn't actually see.
No, he didn't skill anything.
Didn't skill it yet. I don't know if he had the mana for it, but goes down in the end.
It's fine. I mean, Habos survives, which is the important thing. He has the TP. Oh, they scouted him for the courier, but nothing he can do.
Oh, he could have maybe killed that.
Yeah, but he
would
have died.
2 or 3 auto attacks. Not going to go for it in the end. They have level 6 of Wisp now, and they're both back at base. Let's see who goes ganky with this Wisp. That's the real curiosity to me.
Just go with Gyrocopter and Mu. Get Dandy there. Dandy has a Scream. Dandy has the
relocate behind the middle tower, but Tongfu are ready. They've got 3. No Impale yet. The Tether stun on Banana, preventing him from doing anything. He just pops his Carapace, throws out an Impale. They've already lost 1. Dragon Knight hits the deck. This could be a lot worse. They've lost 3. The Courier as well. Dendy's going to finish it off. I thought they might have been prepared for that with 3 heroes waiting at the tower. No Nyx Impale, gets Tether stun, and then they just blow up the Dragon Knight, and it all falls apart from there. You think you're ready for Wisp, then you play against Wisp, and you realize you're never ready for Wisp.
No, you are not. I mean, they had 3 heroes there, but the Tether stun was perfect. The high damage potential from level 7 Queen of Pain is really impressive. She actually went 2 levels up in there just because of that. So, great fight for Navi right now. They get the Courier. It's an important thing because it's a lot of money. The Courier, I think, didn't have anything important.
It had a magic stick and a teleport scroll, but just the fact that it's dead is the big deal.
Yeah, exactly. So Tongfu will have to say, okay, let's group up again, let's get some farm on Hao. And Hao is now actually contesting the farm on the Gyrocopter. I don't know if that's a good trade. Of course, he has lots of damage, even way, way more than the Gyrocopter. He's doing something that I barely ever see people on Morphling doing, which is using the Relocate to help him farm as well. Just as an extra last hit. Yeah, Illusion.
The Replicate, yeah,
the Replicate.
Absolutely. And he's also using it to scout out this pull. Kuroki could almost die just to a single wave for him. There is no Hand of God currently. It's still cooling down. But how? He'll rotate off that lane. He'll head back towards middle. Musical lanes right now. As I mentioned earlier, the biggest thing for Tongfu is to get level 6 on this Nyx. At the very least, it forces Navi to buy sentries. It slows down the Wisp from getting things like an Urn, a mech for Kuroki. Well, actually, it'll probably be Puppy who buys the mech. But just keeping him as squishy as possible. And hey, maybe you find some pickoffs. Navi's still not really feeling the heat in this game. The other big thing is BKBs. If they get BKBs, Navi don't really have any way to deal with that aside from running. So if Hao can get one, or if Mu can get one, that would be huge. But their farm isn't that... The Morphling's farm is good. The Dragon Knight's not so much. And it's going to be at least a good, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes or so before they can even think about having one.
And speaking of farm, the Clockwork still just boots and bottle when trying to contest that kind of weak dual lane, to be fair, because it was nothing particularly strong.
It's never a dual lane when Puppy's jungling. He's a very active jungler. That was essentially a tri-lane.
And if you think about it, Funnick decided to go for the Ancients, and Funnick almost has his 4-staff right now. 11 minutes into the game.
Phase boots as well for him.
Yep.
That's big. Well, not the 4-staff. The Staff of Wizardry, it looks like, but...
Yeah, but he has 1k gold, so 1.2k gold.
Yeah, you're right. Almost has it. Puppy takes the tower bottom, and Navi pushing forward. Tongfu, they have such a strong team fight lineup, you would think. So many stuns, so much lockdown, but terrified to go in here. Only 2 heroes sitting bottom. They're trying to hold off an assault on multiple fronts. Mu has a haste rune. Urn picked up on the Wisp. If they find some kills here, that means Urn charges. That means Navi never stop pushing. That Dragon Knight will head back towards mid. Mu shackled to a tower, or rather a tree, and this could be bad. Dendi thinking of a blink in, but Banana will teleport. He's still only level 4. So much time invested in just protecting this carry. Now Banana's really paying. Havos comes in. No call down there. On the backside, it's just an entire army of Navi heroes surrounding the tower. Hao actually does teleport into the middle of the fray. Net on Mu. Pops the haste. Shackle on 2. Call down on 3. This could be bad. Hand of God's there. Queen of Pain hold over the top, and Tongfu are driven back. They are being herded like cattle. They'll lose 2. And it might be more. King J on the run from the other direction. He is shackled. Won't connect. No net, but it's cooling down. The troll trap could be his downfall. The rocket hits. Jesus.
That was an amazing fight for Navi.
I can't believe they tried to defend that. Navi had 5 heroes around the tower.
You know what would have made a huge difference? Clockwork was level 5.5. If that Clockwork could have been level 6, then suddenly the fight would have been much, much more different, because you lock down some of the heroes. You don't need to lock everyone down. Of course, you can't stop Dendi, and to a certain point you can't stop the Wisp. But all the other heroes, if you just stop them in their tracks, then suddenly it becomes much easier. With a tier 1 tower alive, the fight is more in your favor. But King J, just 12, almost 13 minutes into the game, can't find the level 6. That's really, really bad for an offlaner, and Tongfu is struggling.
Neither can Banana. Uncontested safe lane for Tongfu. 13 minutes in, still no level 6 on the Nyx. For perspective's sake, Kuroki has been level 6 for probably 4 or 5 minutes now. And Puppy He's been level 6 for possibly even longer. Navi just getting more of the jungle, being more efficient with their time, and Tongfu playing too reactively this game. I feel like they should have just had a confident game plan of, let's get Nyx level 6, we'll just play defensively in the mid lane, we'll farm our Morph lane, we'll trade farm with the Gyro, and then we get up our BKBs, we 5-man, and while they're farming them, we set up some Nyx ganks to find some kills, but a little bit haphazard, a little bit overextending in the bottom lane, and mostly just not really being efficient with their time.
Definitely not. And if you look at the gold graph right now, I didn't want to, but
I actually looked at it by accident, but didn't want to talk about it. But we probably should. It's an 8k gold lead for Navi. It's an 8k experience lead, and they ran a rather weak laning stage. Moo gets caught. There's your Shadow Strike, and Dendi might be forced to blink out here. He's very tanky, though. They're still waiting. Havos diving in. The flat cannon drives everyone back, and then they isolate Moo, and they look to bring him down. Kuroki has relocated. If they need to get out of here, they probably could, but a wave over the top brings Kuroki low, dropping fast. Call-down's there as well. Clips everyone again. This gyro is way too big, doing too much damage. Another missile on Hao. Ghost Scepter up, and he waves back. They lose another 2. They do get the Wisp as retaliation, and they're not done yet. Dendi jumps in. He keeps on marching forward. Shadow Strike's there. The Rocket plinks in. Out of mana. I believe he's finally done.
Yeah.
He is finally
Kawa
done.
can't die. There's not enough damage.
The thing is, there's a Wisp relocate. I wonder if they're going to relocate into the base. Will we see a Suicide Wisp? Probably not.
We'll see. There are 3 heroes right now, and King J is escorting Hao to the base.
No.
Could happen, but no.
Yeah, that would be a very low percentage play.
Yeah.
A very fun one if it worked, though.
Right now he's at 1 HP all the time, so it'll be funny.
Okay, so I talked a lot about how badly Tongfu would benefit from, or how much they benefit from BKBs. How much does Havos benefit from one? There's also nothing that Tongfu can do to him.
No, and Dendi knows that, so he's going for a BKB of his own, and he will have it in just 200 gold. Once Havos and Dendi get their own BKBs, the Dragon Knight suddenly becomes much less important. People call the Dragon Knight a better Beastmaster in the fact that he has a range stun that lasts very long.
And it's spammable.
But the difference is it doesn't go through BKB. So the Dragon Knight, with the game he's having so far, will stop being an impact totally. And Morphling, just the right clicks are not there anymore.
And it's where the Queen of Pain pick looks really smart for Navi, because they picked a hero they could just dominate a Dragon Knight 1v1. If you go for like an Alc mid or some sort of melee hero like a Magnus, then the Dragon Knight farms. He probably is an Ogre Club, maybe close to a Mithril Hammer, but against the Queen of Pain just got shut down a lot. Only 53 CS, 16 minutes in. Sure, Dendi's isn't that great, but he's 5-1-3. He's been fighting and killing. Dragon Knight's only been farming and sitting at his towers. Just gets the Ogre Club now, but still a long way to go for a BKB. And by the time he has that, Havos may have big damage items, and they'll go top lane. They do get the Dragon Tail and Havos. They need to relocate out in a hurry. They try for it. Relocate brings them back to safety. But can they stay near the point of relocate, or are they just going to lose this Wisp for nothing?
Did you see Sunshine scoring a goal with his hook? He went
there could be a tether to puppy creeps here. They come back in. They brought Havos. BKB deployed. Shackle on 2. This looks bad. And on goes Havos. He drops a couple low. Dendi cleans up, and he's still chasing. He wants King J. BKB is there. One more auto attack. Double damage.
What a kill steal.
Funnick with the K-friggin-S. But Navi are cruising. 16-3. Feels like a pub stomp, and as much as you mentioned, Tongfu have the easier to execute lineup, Navi have the high risk, higher reward lineup, and they are just all reward right now.
At the moment they are. Dendi, clearly this is the return of the Dendi, but Funnick needs a little bit of fame as well. He just got that kill. He's 5-0-4, Havos 3-0-9. This Navi lineup is dominating. Unfortunately, King J against miss. Last time he didn't have the hookshot. This time he had it, and he missed it unbelievably.
Please report Kuroki. He's feeding. 0-2-10. The only one on his team who's really struggling here. But he's making the plays happen. That relocate out was huge. And I wasn't sure if they could come back with both and win the fight. But then you have to remember they have BKBs. And they had a double damager on Dendi. And Navi, never a team that shies away from a confrontation. Go for it there. They take it. Tongfu, really tough spot for them. They need BKBs, and they also need items to deal with the fact that Dendi and Havos both have their own BKBs. They have to somehow find a crap load of farm against a Wisp. That is a nigh impossible task when you're this far behind.
It's really tough. I mean, as funny as it sounds, Wisp is a snowballing hero in the term that when you're ahead, you have to it's really hard to get back map control. I mean, it normally is, but against a Wisp means that you have to farm together, which means less gold divided by everyone and less experience for everyone as well. So just by having the Wisp, it means that you can secure your advantage once you get it.
They want to go.
And they're going to go.
They want to make a move here. The creeps will wrap around while the Havos leads the charge, as he so often does. Drops the missile. The tower is focusing on it, cooperating for now. And on the high ground lurks Banana. He's finally found level 6, 18 minutes, and he just got it. Probably a minute or two ago, it looks like. And Navi chip away at this mid tower. Tongfu just can't go into this.
No.
If they go into this, they die. But they have to defend at some point, because this is their last, or second to last outer tower. And Navi probably looking for Roche soon. If you're Navi, I think that's what you want to do. But maybe they're just strong enough to break the base. They have double BKB, mech, force staff, and a lot of levels, as well as only level 1 Hand of God. They're going to head for top lane. They'll work on the tower now. Creeps in the base mid. No backdoor protection available. They're going to chip away at that unprotected, low HP tower. Smart decision making. And Moo looks for a stun, but he can't find one. There's your net. That's going to set up potentially a big missile. In comes the homie missile. Plink. And that hurts surprisingly a lot. Clockwork's hooked in. Hasn't done a whole lot. Dendi blinks in. Over the top for him. Queen of Pain ult delivers. Clips 3. Finds another double kill. Dendi is cruising, and Navi well on their way to a Game 3 victory. Tongfu played very well in Game 2, but appear to have no answers for this Wisp pick in Game number 3.
Again, we said about outplaying in the games before. This time it's Navi completely outplayed the Tongfu lineup. They lost every single lane, even the lane that they had empty they lost, because they couldn't secure enough farm on the Morphling. Of course, you're a Morphling, you need a lot of farm, and you're expecting the game to go later. And here comes the shackle shot, and how is it kind of unfair that you can't
catches
pop
2, they lift back Havos. Do you really want to fight him? No BKB, but still very tanky. Can always be relocated out, and Hao's actually waveformed in. Navi says it's go time. Shackle on 2 again from Funnick. These shackle shots, somebody needs to ban Windrunner, because this hero is just hitting every shackle today. Hao on the run, triple kill for Havos.
Here comes
you can GG anytime, Tongfu, and they will. Wow, they got smacked down.
This was a stomp.
This team is in the Dota 2 Super League Grand Finals. They cleaved their way through teams like IG, LGD International, LGD China to get there, and RNG Sports as well. A lot of top teams going to TI3, and Navi just made quick work of them here.
They made them look like a mediocre Tier 2 team, just because Navi was playing so stupendously well. This is not over for Tongfu. They will move to the losers bracket. They will have another chance. And the best thing out of it for me is that this secures a rematch of Navi IG.
We got the International 2 Grand Finals again. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the International 3 Grand Finals.
It's totally possible.
I wouldn't complain.
I wouldn't complain either.
But something new wouldn't be out of the question. Either way, it's not as though Navi has won the Alienware Cup yet. But they get a lot closer with this. They are now going to be in the final 4 for the winner bracket.
Right.
Which means they secure themselves a slightly higher placement. Don't know exactly how high they're guaranteed to go, but even if they lose that match, they still have a chance in the losers bracket, which means we get at least 2 more Navi series for this tournament.
3. They're in top 4 of the winner bracket, then they go to top 2 of the winner bracket, and then they play against the winner of the loser bracket.
So you're assuming they're going to win then?
No, I mean if they go through the path that takes them to victory. So at least 3 more games for the winner in the winner's bracket to play. Be it Navi, be it DK, IG, or LGD China.
There you go.
Yes.
It was a great day of Dota, but game 1 of this series really took the cake for me.
Definitely. I mean, if you came out late for some reason, you're just waking up, you're in the US West.
On
It's fine, you need sleep. Not everyone can afford not sleeping like I do.
Don't make excuses for them.
I mean,
you should have been here, but
you'll be here next time. You'll go to sleep earlier, you'll wake up earlier. But if for some reason you missed it, you definitely have to watch that game.
You're an enabler.
I like the people. I like people.
I like people.
I like people.
Navi, they certainly have some fans here today. They take game 3. With that, it'll be a 2-1 victory for them. Lumi, Merlini, what went right for them? What went wrong for Tongfu?
I think it's just as simple as Wisp. Like,
I looked at the draft and I saw Wisp's first pick and I just left the building. I grabbed some Go Fish because like
it's too easy. They just absolutely crushed.
They didn't see what type of Go Fish
with Wisp, and
my bad.
Like I don't know where the hubris is, where the overconfidence is from. You just just ban the Wisp. Just use it. Just do it.
Also, I really dislike Hao's item choices. Tongfu generally has really, really good item choices. We saw Moo's Hex on their Weaver last game. This game, when you're going for shotgun build and you're up against a Wisp, a Chen, and of course a mech in between the two of them, there's no way you're shotgunning down anything. You need to get like a 20-minute shotgun or maybe even 18-minute one. That didn't happen. It should have been a BKB. BKB against this particular line of a Queen of Pain, a gyrocopter has a ton of early magical damage. You BKB, you waveform in, the hell do they do? That didn't happen, and Tongfu just overall crumble, I felt like, in every single lane. And
I also feel like King J is not the strongest clockwork. We saw him play a...
He does have a good clock. Two games got shut down.
He got picked off for first one. That was like, I mean, that shouldn't have happened. That was way too risky by him. I mean, granted, the Satyr creep was there, so he like got Tetherson in the process, but still, that really shouldn't happen. You really have to be prepared for that.
I want to see some Moo clock. I think he's the better clock of the two, but it's King J, so what can you do?
But an exciting series overall. Tongfu, it seemed like they just shied away from the strategy of banning Wisp. And it just well, it always ends terribly.
Let's actually look at what's out tomorrow, because we also have a couple of exciting matches, and I do believe it's going to be from the losers bracket. Correct me if I'm wrong, or am I wrong?
This is definitely the winners bracket.
No. Tomorrow's matches is going to be on losers.
Oh yeah, tomorrow we'll have our we'll drop down to the losers bracket. So 2 teams do get eliminated tomorrow.
So can we bring those up?
Yes.
All right. So on the upper bracket, it's going to be MUFC versus Orange. So one of these Southern East Asian team will be eliminated. That's going to be a heartfelt goodbye to either one of them. And the second one, LGD International versus
Rattlesnake.
R-Snake. I can't see.
Rattletrap. Rising Stars.
Rising Balls.
Rising Balls.
There's just oh my god, that Eastern qualifier. So that's going to be at 2:30, same time as today, 2:30 EST. And of course,
it's not EST. Pacific time.
Pacific time, sorry. If you wanted to know the exact timing, alienwarecup.com is the place you want to go. And of course, that has all the spoiler-free VODs, as well as the game one that you might miss for Navi versus Tongfu.
There's also a tournament ticket, $7.99. Buy one with a MasterCard. Support DPM, and she'll hopefully run more tournaments.
Show some love.
Yeah, show her some love, guys.
Yeah, she's been awesome so far.
She flew you here.
Yeah, she flew me here. She feeds me. She wants to make me fat.
It's working. I can already. You're already looking a little paunchy.
I have like. We'll see. Maybe a nip attack. Who knows?
You've got a long way to go.
I have a long way to go. But yeah, no. Anyways, I'm really happy to be here, guys. I think it's obviously the first time I'm at Beyond the Summit studio, and it's the first time I'm casting live with you, because last time I was at the international, I was not entirely casting. I suck at casting, I have to admit. Which is really, I'm particularly thankful for you to help me doing this. I hope I make you laugh at least, and I will cook you something. I'm good. I'm a good cook.
What can I say? Everyone has to do a little charity now then.
Yeah, they try. Thank you. But yeah, I'm a good cook. What do you want me to cook?
You better cook for me for that.
What's your favorite dish?
I don't really have one.
You just don't want to say it in front of the stream. Go.
Puppies.
That's my favorite
I can get
dish.
you Dendies. Is it the same?
Not quite. So on that note, well, it's been a great day of Dota.
Yeah, it's been an awesome day of Dota.
Rewatch game 1, please.
Yeah, if once again, you've got to go watch Navi versus Tongfu game 1. If you didn't yet, even though you probably know the result of the series by now, it's an epic game just as a standalone. And with that being said, I think we'll wrap things up. Facebook, twitter.com/AlienwareCup. Support the organizers, support MasterCard, Alienware, as well as DPM Interactive. Big shout out once again to them. Shout out to this guy, as well as Lumi and Merlini. And from all of us here at the Beyond the Summit studio, for now, we're signing off.